Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm so used to the bin bag being here. I forgot to place it by the door. Because I've got my dear Nan coming. And I'm just doing a spot of tidying up right now. So that this place is spick and span. So that she doesn't give me a bollocking larger than Keir the Traitor Starmer's bollocking from me. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. This is, ow, bit of a tongue. No, seriously. Anyway, this video is about Freedom Dad this time, because I was a little bit shocked when I saw that it actually made a direct response video, because I've never been subject to one of these before. So I will be addressing it. I must admit, my initial reaction was I was taken aback. I was like, wow, someone's actually done a response to me? Because as I said, I hadn't seen one of these before. But I am duty bound, I think, to respond to this, because Freedom Dad makes some very valid points, because he understands more than anything. He's been on this earth far longer than I have. He calls me a wee young man as well. God. Sometimes I do wish I was still in Scotland. Anyway, he was commenting about basically all this talk about the actions I should be taking, and some people seem to think that I'm giving bad advice. But I want to know what is the best advice then, quite frankly. Because, and I don't want to do this as an attack. This is a video that I just want to respond to, and I just want to give my side of things more than anything. Because, as I've said before, I don't want us bickering with one another, because that doesn't accomplish anything. We should be keeping our eyes on the real enemy, and it is obviously Keir the Traitor Starmer and his establishment, as well as that so-called religion of peace. We need to be focusing on the enemies who truly matter. And what Freedom Dad has basically been saying to me, to try to put it in a condensed and concise form, is he's basically saying that we can't go down this dark path. We cannot go down this path of revolution, overthrowing the government and all that shit. And to a lesser extent, I think he even said something about that civil disobedience and mass walkouts wouldn't do anything. Or at least they wouldn't do as much as we think. I guess when he mentions the church, and how the church can just give the establishment money, I guess to that extent, he does make a very valid point. Because if we just take monies and our tools and we just walk off, if the churches are loyal to the establishment, then I guess they will be ending up giving up their money towards Keir the Traitor Starmer. So, where do we go from there then? Do we then try to get the churches on our side and tell them that this fight is a righteous and just one, and that through peaceful means ideally, because that's what I have been trying to aim for, much like Richard Inman and Paul Thorpe, maybe we need to get them on our side, so that then, when the establishment hand comes in to try and take the money, it gets told to fuck off and go elsewhere. Maybe that's the answer. I'm not sitting here claiming that I'm scrying into my crystal ball here and I can see into the future. And I can see in an hour's time when Nan's here. Anyway, I'm not sitting here saying that I can look into the future and tell you what's going to happen. I can only make guesses. I can only make predictions. But what I do know is that Keir the Traitor Starmer will always go down in history as the worst Prime Minister we've ever had and will ever have, I suspect, for the next 1,000 years. That much I don't think Freedom Dad can argue in any way, shape or form. He will never be able to drop this accolade off. This is not something that you can just simply get rid of. It's like blood contracts. Once you make that deal and you sign it in blood, that's it. Your blood's on the contract. It's a done deal. Just like that. I do understand where Freedom Dad is coming from as far as we need to behave ourselves. And as I said in my live stream, Because I did that, I suspect, just before he responded. Or maybe he did it after. I don't know. Because when I saw it, I was just about to go to bed. And I was like, no, I need to listen to this. It needs to be done. Sometimes you have to make those decisions that you don't want to make, that make you feel uncomfortable. You have to listen to people. You have to listen to what your friends and followers are saying. That's the cold bitter truth. And I'm not going to lie, I did tear up a little bit because it was like, maybe I've been an asshole. Maybe I've been misguided. Maybe I've been wrong on this. I accept. I am a bit of a loose cannon. I accept that I can say things that are on the wilder side. But I am worried for this country. He understands my frustration, and I am bloody frustrated. I am bloody pissed off. Because look what they're doing to our great nation. Think of The Godfather and look how they massacred my boy. That kind of shit. I am frustrated. I am pissed off. I am filling up this washing bowl with hot water and cold water so I can actually do the dishes before she gets here. But that's beside the point. The point is, I don't like this idea of sitting around doing nothing. I really don't. Like, if there's one thing that's always been true about me, ever since I was born into this world 34 years ago, is that I do not like being stagnant. I do not like being idle. I do not like sitting around and doing nothing. Because I get bored very quickly. And in this case, very angry very quickly. Because I can see what will happen if we continue to let Islam come knocking in on the front door and leading their Trojan horse in. I completely understand what's going to happen if we allow Keir the traitor Starmer to rule over this country for another 4 years. There won't be a country left to save. So that's mainly why I'm pissed off more than anything. Because I know full well this country is going down the toilet and we have to do something. We can't sit around while it happens. We cannot, in any way, shape or form, be apathetic. We cannot. Because if we do that, we may as well just be waving the white flag and saying, you know what, come on in, we surrender, we give up, destroy the country, blah, blah, blah. And I am not of that mentality. I am not of that principle. If my country is in danger, I'll fucking fight for it, quite frankly. And I'll do whatever it takes to fight for it. Ideally, as said, I want this all to be done peacefully. Think of it like this. When there's a war, you send troops in. Then, if that doesn't work, you send in the tanks and the planes and the mortar crews and all that shit. Then, I consider revolution to be like you're hitting the button to launch the nukes. That's the way I look at it. I look at that as an absolute last resort. When all other options have failed and you need to bring an end to something quickly. And I don't want for us to be sitting there launching that metaphorical nuke. I want us to be able to get that man out of the houses of treachery, I mean Parliament, or maybe I was right first time. I want to get him out of there peacefully. I cannot stress that enough. Nobody here, and I think Freedom Dad will agree with me on this one, nobody here wants this to turn to violence. Nobody. Least of all me. Because if it happens, all that hard work we've done will be all but for nothing. All but for nothing. And I can't stand that idea. As I said, I may not be as old and wise as some people. I accept that. I sometimes get things wrong. Again, I'll accept that. Sometimes I get a little emotional. I even sound it now. I accept that. But the reason I'm like this is because of what has shaped me. I don't like being stagnant. I do not like being passive. I don't like doing nothing. And as I said before, evil only wins when the bottle falls on the floor. Anyway, evil only wins when good men do nothing. That's why I have been so vocal. Why I put in so much of my time, so much of my passion into this. If I wanted to, I could just basically drop the channel and be like, this is the end. But I don't do that. Is it demoralizing? What's going on? Oh, 100%. No question. It is absolutely demoralizing seeing what these third world shithole barbarians are doing to our country. It is demoralizing, frustrating, infuriating seeing what Keir the traitor Starmer is doing to our beloved nation. I always wear my heart on my sleeve. That's the way I look at it. I'm not one to shy away from saying how it is. And I don't think I'll ever change that. I will always do my best not to sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. I am not going to mince my words. I'm going to say it exactly how it is. And I will do my best not to bullshit you. And I fully appreciate what you're doing for me, Freedom Dad. I don't see this as an attack. I don't see this as you doing one over on me, because I know that's not your intention. You're trying to help me get off the dark path, I guess. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate to say. No, come on, stop being a pussy. Stop tearing up. Come on, be a man. Come on, let's do it. But I fully appreciate what you've done. It's not often I have someone respond to me directly for a video. So I guess thank you for giving me the opportunity to. That's basically my reasoning behind it. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I am dedicating myself to it. That's why I have been very emotional. And you could even go as far as saying I have been very impulsive, because I've said that is one of my biggest weaknesses. I am very, very impulsive. It's even more so in my video games, quite frankly. Get on there, goddammit. So, I think that's about it, really. I just wanted to get those thoughts out there and basically say, I completely understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're trying to tell me, and I accept there are some things that I may be wrong on. But I've put my reasons out there as to why I do them. And maybe devil's advocate here, maybe I'm doing this to my own detriment. Who knows? But one thing I do know for absolutely certain is that if anybody says to me to give up fighting for my country, I will tell them point blank and categorically, the only way I'm giving up my country is over my cold, dead corpse.